What's up, guys? Tiny Dog here, and welcome to a new episode of Minecraft Fun. So, in this episode, we're going to be doing a few things. First things is we're going to be making a breeder, which will make a lot of uranium cells that'll help us with our nuclear reactor and producing EU. We're also going to be making the reactor that'll produce EU for us in large quantities. And also, I'm going to introduce a new mod, which is the thermometer mod. A lot of you know it. If you don't know what thermometer mod is, it basically checks the temperature of your reactor. Because remember, if your reactor gets too hot, it will explode, and it'll take a very, very big chunk of your factory or wherever it is away. And we do not want to lose that. So we always want to sort of regulate our temperature and also you want to know the temperature for the breeder so that we know that it's at a good enough heat to, make the cells for us. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to be making the thermometer. So let's see the recipe right here. I'll link the thermometer. Now I'm going to link the forum page because it's not the first page of the forum. It's about the 8th page, I believe, and it's for version 1.2.3. So you got to make sure you download the right version because it won't work if you don't. And to install it, very easy. You just put the zip file into your mods folder, and that's it. So there's two kind of thermometers. There's a digital thermometer and there's a regular thermometer. I'm guessing I know the regular thermometer, as hotter as your nuclear gets, this will break, sort of like a tool. And digital, I'm guessing, doesn't break. So I'm going to make the digital. It's very, very easy to make. So we need 3 refined iron, a glowstone dust, and an electronic circuit. So let's just order those up. I have those refined irons for something else. Alright, so 3 refines, and then I need a electronic circuit right here. And I need some glowstone dust, which I should have here. Okay, good. Now let's see. I made 3 of them, of course, because I forgot to change that to 1. Alright, so let's see. What's the recipe again? Okay, so let's see if I remember that. It goes something like that, and the glowstone goes here. Okay, doesn't go like that. Nope. Let's see that again. 2, 2, 2. Okay, so this goes like that. All right, digital thermometer is made. Okay, so that's going to tell us the temperature of our reactor, and it looks like it runs on EU, which we can recharge in a sec. Another item we want to make is high voltage wires. This is just going to be the wiring that goes from the reactor right into our MFSU. I made a few MFSUs. So to make that, you just need 3 refined iron, and you get this high voltage cable. And then we get some rubber, which we have a ton of. And you basically, what you want to do is something like this. And then pretty much you can insulate it up to 4 times, and this, I believe, helps with energy loss and helps with you not getting shocked by the current. So that's 4 times insulated high voltage cable. So we're gonna need some of those. That goes here. Okay. Some other things we're gonna need are to make this uranium ore into a uranium cell. And we're also going to make some depleted uranium cells. And first thing you want to do is take this uranium ore and go to your compressor right here. I'm just going to put 1 in there, and you'll get an ingot of refined uranium. Now, there's 2 recipes that you can do. You can just go like this, refined iron and an empty cell, right? And this will make 1 uranium cell. Now, we can be super duper efficient And I mean, that's not bad. I mean, it's not bad if you have a lot of uranium if you have a lot of ore, but let's say you don't have a lot of ore. Let's say you only have like 5. And you want to get the most uranium cells as you can. So what you do is you take another piece of uranium ore, refine it, and then you go to your crafting table and you put the uranium ore here, and then you surround it with empty cells, and now you get 8 near depleted uranium cells. So for one refined uranium, you get 8. So this actually make 8 times whatever your supply. So this is what you usually want to do, but of course you cannot use this depleted uranium cell. It has no energy in it. You see how this is filled up with green? This one is empty. Okay, so we're gonna have to charge these so that we can then convert it to one of these uranium cells. So you want 1 uranium cell and then 8 of these bad boys, and we're gonna use that in our breeder. So now what you want to make is a whole lot of, it's raining outside, you want to make a lot of those reactor platings and heat dispersers. So right here, I made 2 reactors now. You saw I made 1 last episode. I made 2, and they're exactly the same, and they're water cooled. And I put the switches down here because I'm lazy. And I put these chests here because usually you're gonna, I have 1 chest. I'll put like my uranium in here and some empty cells, and then this chest is gonna be all my cooling cells, my integrated reactor platings, and my heat dispersers. And there's a certain amount you need. So I guess you need 6 of these reactor platings, and you need 14 of these dispersers. Okay. And you need 21 of these coolant cells. So I made those and got that out the way. I made an extra one. And you're going to need to put this in our breeder. So I totally forgot to charge my digital thermometer. So let me do that. And actually, this geothermal generator is probably a lot better than the nuclear reactor, because this is, you don't have to worry about it blowing up your house. So I kind of like that geothermal generator a lot better than a nuclear reactor. But nuclear reactors are cool. So we'll make some stuff here. Okay, so what do we want to do? All right, now let's hook up some wires to this, because even though it's a breeder, it's not even though it's a breeder, it'll still produce EU, and you don't want to waste any EU you get. So I'm gonna hold shift and I'm gonna click somewhere like this. Okay, so I'll put this here, and why isn't this? There you go, and put that there. Put our FSU down, and now that'll transfer whatever energy we produce into there. And I could do the same thing over here with this. Come on. There you go. Now I'm not sure if you can use glass fiber cables for this, because this is like extreme voltage, I believe. So I just play it safe and use this high HV wire. I'm not sure if you use, and this has a lot of EU loss as you use more wire, so you want to keep it kind of close to your reactor. All right, so that's done, and now let's make our lovely reactor here. So let me I'm gonna need this. Put this away. Oh, look at that. You hit shift and it has a weird name. Okay, this, and what else do I want to put? I want to put this away, and I'll keep the alchemy bag here. Okay, so let's get all our stuff here before, and we don't want to put the uranium in there just yet. We want to get our cooling and our cells all in place so that we can have that ready and good to go. Okay, so we just right click on that, and now we have this lovely space for us to put cool things in. And this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put our cells. Now these coolant cells, they will, once you put the uranium in here, they'll start to degrade. Same thing with these reactor platings. So you always want to keep an eye on it, because if you start losing coolant cells and heat dispersers, you're gonna overheat and your reactor is gonna blow up. So you always want to keep an eye on that, and just make sure that you substitute your reactor platings, or if it gets too hot, you can take out the uranium and let it cool down. You know, keep the water on it, and it'll be fine after that. Alright, so we need more coolant cells. So let's put those in there like this. So there's two things we want to do with a breeder. First, we want to heat up the reactor so that it can get to a certain temperature, and then when it gets to that temperature, we can switch a certain configuration to begin the breeding process, where it turns these depleted uranium cells into I believe they're called isotopes or something like that. So I'll show you that though. So we're gonna do this thing right here. Now this reactor design is made by Nargon, and he's on the Industrial Craft forums. He has his own forum post, so check out his forum post and give him a big shout out, because he's the man. Now this design, I believe, is sort of old, but it works, and I used it in my last episode and I like it, so I'm gonna keep using it. So let's get, okay, got it here, just gotta make sure everything's right. Okay, so of course I forget that we're gonna need oh my gosh, I'm sorry guys, just bear with me 1 second. I forgot something. We gotta heat this sucker up first, and okay, so let's get to our compressor. Okay, I had to check something real fast. So there's a couple things I forgot to make. First, we have to make 4 more of these. 1, 2, 3, uranium, refined uraniums, and we got to make, I got 3 more of these uranium cells to have 4 in total. And we also, I also, not we, forgot something else. All right, so let's make these first. So we'll just do that. 1, 2, 3. Bit of a noob mistake, I must say. Okay, now that is done. Now these near depleted uranium cells, I forgot we have to make these into isotopes, which are gonna get charged up, and that would have sucked if I would have forgot that. So what we need is coal dust, which we should have in our logistics network. Yes, we do. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Successful request. Good to see. And let's give that a sec to macerate. 5, 6, 7, and lucky number 8. Where are you? There you go. 8. All right. So 8 coal dust, and now we put these coal dust like this, and we take our near depleted uranium isotopes, and it makes a depleted isotope cell. So this is, see how it has no durability? This is what's gonna get fully charged, and then from there we can convert it to uranium cells. So very important that you do that, and I did not mention that, so now you know. Coal dust and the near depleted cell. Now we can finally get this thing going here. Okay, so Had to check something. Okay, so now let's set this up. And we already have our basic setup here. And what we're going to do is take these near depleted cells and put them around in a nice circle like this. And you can already see that it's producing heat. But, you know, not a lot. So we take our cells, and this is what's going to cook everything up. And now that's cooking up rather lovely. And then we go with our thermometer, and you can see we're starting to gain up a lot of heat. And this will eventually go up to our number, and you can tell, you know, 8,300 is water evaporating, and melting is 14,000. So you don't want to get to that 14,000 number. Or 9,000 is going to be the number we're going to shoot for. So while this is cooking up, these will go up a little bit, but once we get up to that 9,000, then we'll change this configuration and we'll be able to start making these depleted isotope cells. Now, it takes a while, I'm going to admit that, to get this going. So let's just, I guess, wait it out. And once this hits 9,000, over 9,000, no, I don't think we want to go over 9,000, but once it hits 9,000, we will move on to the next step. So I'm just going to wait for that. It's probably going to take a while, maybe 20 minutes. So if you got a lot of time, just go do something, but keep checking that temperature so you don't blow up your whole house. So I'll be right back. Well, I guess while this is heating up, let's make something that I should have made a while ago, and that's an EU reader. So as you know, EU is the energy that gets made from nuclear reactors, from our geothermal generators, and it's always a good idea to measure how much EU you're getting a tick or a second or whatever you want to call it, because you can see if a certain system is producing a lot of EU at than another system. So pretty much it's a very easy thing to make. Let's see. Okay, EU. There you go. Try to think about that for a sec. EU reader. So looks easy. 4 copper cables, an electronic circuit, and some glowstone dust. So let's get our electronic circuit. Okay, and 4 copper cables, which I believe I have. Yeah, and 1 glowstone dust, which I have in my inventory, and I have an extra coal dust for some reason. So let's see, that goes there. Okay, so now if I remember correctly, it goes like this, right? Am I right? There you go. So EU reader, and this I believe does not take any durability hits. So if we look at a system like let's say hold on, let me pull this out and charge it up. Now if I click this, I should be able to see how much. So this gets 240 EU a tick, which is pretty damn good. It rivals a nuclear reactor. So 240 a tick is pretty damn good, and it's fast enough to charge this MFSU rather quickly with this geothermal generator we have here. Now if we look at something else like our water mill generator, which is pretty crappy, and this is only 14 EU. Whoa, this is only 14 EU a tick, so it's really low, and it's good to sustain these machines, but if I was using all these machines at once, it probably wouldn't sustain it for very long. So as you can see, it's a big difference between this geothermal and the water mill generator. So if I can look here, let's see, do I get ticks? No, I don't, because this isn't doing anything. And the solar panels will probably be the same, not that much. I could check, but it's a low number. So that geothermal generator, I think, is actually a lot better than the nuclear reactor because, number one, it won't blow up my house. and you can just leave it there and produce it, especially combined with the equivalent exchange. So if we look at our breeder here, which is not necessarily something to produce EU, but it will produce EU because it's heating up these reactor chambers. If we look now, we're at already 476,000 EU, and it's going up as we speak. So if we take a tick here, it's at 118. So, you know, our geothermal generator is a lot more efficient, but this is not made to produce EU, this breeder. But it's good to have, you know, this spare energy whenever, you know, we'll hook it up to something. I don't know. So that's how much we're getting. And once we make our nuclear reactor here, you'll see that we'll be producing hopefully more than 240. I'll try to find a design that's more than 240, so that we can produce a lot of EU, and perhaps have a couple MFSUs here to store all that energy, which I have no idea what we're going to use it for, but I guess we'll find out. Alright, so if we look at the temperature, alright, so we're already up to 2,000, so we should be hitting that 9,000 mark rather soon, and you can see a little smoke coming out because it's starting to heat up, and soon you'll see fire, but don't worry, because we won't let that get up to 14,000 heat. Just so you know, we'll get it around 9,000 heat. And if we look here, you see a lot of our coolants are starting to degrade. And remember, once these degrade fully, you'll lose it, and you'll lose that cooling power, and that can lead to an overload and your whole pretty thing blowing up. And the uranium cells are taking a little hit, but it's not really that bad. And these haven't filled up yet because there's not enough heat to get this breeder starting to generate enough heat to fill these isotopes to full. So essentially what we're looking at here is these, we got 8 of these depleted isotope cells. We're going to make these into 8 uranium cells. So remember that. So, you know, the uranium ore, we're 8 times more than 8 cells for 1 ore, so that's pretty damn epic if you ask me. And yeah, that's gonna take a while. Okay, so yeah, so I'll be right back, and once this hits around 8,000 to 9,000, then we'll change up the configuration and make that breeder. Okay, so I'm around 8,200 now heat, and if we look at our nuclear reactor, you can see that we are almost depleting all our coolant cells and our heat dispersers. But when you look over here at our depleted isotope cells, they're starting to gain some of their bar, and that is what we're trying to do here. So let's now put it into the breeding mode, I guess you want to call it, and all we need is 1 uranium cell here, and we're going to take 4 of these depleted cells and leave it just like that. Now if we look at our heat, it's going down a little bit, so maybe we should bring that up to 9,000. Yeah, it's going down. I'm gonna just try to see where that levels out to. Hopefully doesn't go too low. Let's see. Okay, now it's going back up. Okay, so now it's producing heat, and hopefully that'll hit that 9,000 mark. I probably should have waited, but I got a little excited. But we're just gonna leave that to its own doing. Let's see, 98, 99. Alright, so it's going up, 84. Okay, so it's going up. Hopefully it'll stay at a certain number. You can see that it's on fire. No worries, it's working as intended. Just remember 14,000 is the point of runaway, because we're gonna blow up everything. So we don't want to get a 14,000. And you can see here we produced a good amount of EU, but of course we want to produce a lot of EU. So what kind of while this is going, what kind of reactor do we want? You know, there's a lot of, there's just tons of different configurations, and we're gonna need to make heat dispersers and coolant cells. So you know what, I'm gonna make that and I gotta go look. All right, it's still going up. I'm gonna go look up on the industrial craft and see if there's any new designs. Oh, you see, look, this just already got a tick, so it's working. It'll go up to full, and I think, you know, we can just leave this like this. You don't want to have the water on, of course, and it'll produce, and it won't go to that dangerous number of 14,000. So that's good. It's good that we have that. I probably, if it's not, if the temperature doesn't go up to 9,000, I might have to we'll bring it up to 9,000. So a good rule of thumb, bring it up to 9,000, and then you can take it out and then make that 4 depleted with 1 uranium cell configuration. So I gotta make a lot of these and these and these, but before I do that, I'm gonna check out the the forums, and hopefully I can find a good reactor design that's not gonna blow up too fast, but it's not gonna take too long to produce EU. You kind of want to get meat in the middle there. So I'll be right back, guys. Alright, so I looked up the reactor designs and stuff, and they got this new applet thing, and it wasn't working for me. So we're just gonna go with Nargon's nuclear reactor design. It's a Mark 4B, as he stated, and basically you get 270 EU a tick, and you can leave this on for about, how long? 10 minutes. So 10 minutes this reactor can go on, and then after that you should probably shut it off unless you want your house to blow up. So this will in his notes he's saying that this will produce 3.3 million EU in 10 minutes, which is pretty ridiculous. This right here, we had 3 million and you know, a lot more than 10 minutes. So this is going to be a really good if you need a lot of energy. The problem with these reactors is after, you know, you use a lot of EU, you have to have a cooldown period. And that's where you can, you know, the cooldown period on this reactor is going to be an hour and I believe an hour and a half. And then you can use it again, or you can just replace everything with new cells and go from there. Of course, with this you have to keep your eye on the heat. The heat is very important with these reactors. But for 10 minutes we'll get 3 million EU, which is pretty gangsta. And I'm going to put that MFSU that I made, which oh, there it is. And I'm gonna put this here because even though this store is 10 million, let's say I run this for a few times, you know, I'll just keep it here as a backup. I probably should keep it here, actually. I'm gonna put it on our breeder, because the breeder is something that'll constantly be running, because we will just be pushing out tons of uranium cells. So where's my wrench? Because this is why I love the geothermal generator, because I don't have to worry about all these cooldowns and all that stuff. So, but I'll just put this here, and it'll take whatever energy's in here, and I'll just have 20 million EU storage within these two machines. Okay, so this reactor configuration is going to need a lot of uranium cells. So of course you'll have to wait for your breeder to finish, or you can take whatever uranium you have, which I do, and convert that into uranium cells. So I need 20 uranium cells. So I have 20 these and 20 empty cells, and we'll get that processed and good to go. In fact, while that's going to work, let's just look at how much our breeder has. So as you can see, these will not die. These cooling cells, and these will keep at this little red, so don't worry about that. And we're almost about halfway on our depleted isotope cells. So once those fill up, we'll be able to convert those to uranium cells. So we're getting 4 So even though I just used 20 of my ore, I'm going to get back 4, and then I'll replace those with more depleted cells, and we'll get those 20 back in very short time, because that breeder works very well. It's very efficient, and that's why we have that breeder. Alright, so let's go to our compressor here and see how much. Alright, we got 18. Give me one more. Okay, so we're also going to need 16 heat dispersers or whatever, and 20 cooling cells. So I had to use my Klein Star and conjure up pretty much a ton of iron, because we had ran out of iron before making more coolant cells and all that stuff. So luckily we have equivalent exchange to save the day. So I made all those, and my chest is bugged, of course. And so let's get the 16 heat dispersers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And we're going to put those, of course we want to put these first, before we put the uranium cells. So it goes 1, 2, and this. Now, of course, there's a lot of other reactor designs that don't require 20 uranium cells, but I figured, hey, let's go with something that'll just, you know, a crazy design that'll spit out so much EU, and that's what we really want in the end. There's a lot of EU to have fun with. The only problem, of course, it only lasts for 10 minutes, and you'll have to shut it off and let it cool down. But of course, you can shut off your reactor anytime, and I'll show you how to do that in a sec. So let's get, before I do more of that, let me get my coolant cells. Actually, I have 4. I just noticed I had 4 uranium, 3 uranium cells. So I kind of made more than I should, but hey, what are we going to use our uranium for anyway? So we need 20 cooling cells. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16. And I need 4 more. Do I have 4 more? Nope. So I'll have to get 4 more. That's no problem. Alright, so let's put these down. I just don't want to get confused, so I'm going to do the outer rim first. And this guy Nargon, he figured out a good, you know, he took the time and tested out all these different coolant cells and disperser configurations, and what will produce the most EU, and what would the heat would be, how long the cool down would be. You know, it's pretty complicated stuff, tell me, but of course, like, you know, I just love that geothermal generator. Just love it. Okay, so I'm gonna put these here like this, and put these 2 here like this. And I am missing the 2 that should go down here. Okay, so I need 4 more coolant cells, which we can make, and while I'm at it, I might as well make these. So that's 20, and that's good. That's good. Oh, I turned on the water because the breeder got up to 9,000, and I figured that's the heat that Nargon said you want your reactor at. And I put on the water, and I think the temperature is still the same. I'll check that in a sec. What do we need? Okay, we needed 4 more coolant cells. So hopefully my system works with the coolant cells. I haven't really tested it, but it should work. It should work. Let's see. I don't know. Is it working? I'm not even sure. It might be backed up. I have a funny feeling it's backed up. Why do I have that feeling? Oh, there we go. That's 1. Okay, so it looks like it's working. Good. Did it make it to the chest? Yes, it did. Okay, so 1. So that's 4. Let's see. How much red alloy? I know I made some just before. Okay, so 11. 11 should be fine. Okay, so oh, maybe I should make some more while I'm waiting. Alright, I got 3 here. Make another 12. I was testing out how to... I didn't really know that you could shut your reactor with a redstone. I never knew that, so it's good to know that I tested it out just before and it worked, so it's pretty awesome. Alright, give me my last coolant cell, please. There we go, thank you. Okay, so now we can finish up this and we'll begin to see how much EU we spit out. It's what does it say here? It says it's 270 EU a tick, which is awesome. Okay. And okay, so let's put these coolant cells right here, and then you can see the empty spaces will have uranium going through all that. So let's take a look at our MFSU. Just gonna put that here. And right now it's at no, I don't want to do that. It's 0, so you know it's empty right now, and we'll see how much that produces. This is producing 8 EUs a tick now because we had to take out a lot of the. And yep, the temperature is at a cool 9,000 degrees, whatever the measurement is. And oh, we're about hit the halfway point, and I think we'll be able to at least get maybe 1 or 2 before we have to replace that with a uranium cell. But that'll be fine because that's the whole point. As you can see, our coolants and everything is good to go. So 9,000 is that magic number, and that pretty much goes on forever. It won't overheat and it won't cool down, so you could just leave it like that. So let's put these uranium cells in here, and the 10-minute timer starts now. Now you can use Redpower to of course have a timer set and never have to worry about turning it on and off, but I don't like that idea because what happens if the game lags and the timer messes up, or when I reload the game, what happens? Oh no, what happened? Oh, my MFSU blew up. Whoa, why did it blow up? Oh my gosh. Do I have it hooked up to the wrong? Oh, so stupid. Yes, I know what I did. The circle's supposed to be on top. Oh my gosh. That was horrible. Scary and horrible. Oh my gosh. Why did I do that? Okay, so so as you can see, that was a total mess up by me, and hopefully I can not do that again. That was awesome. Alright, let's see if I can put the thing on top. Okay, now it should work. Where's my glass? Oh man, that was scary. I thought the nuclear reactor blew up. I was about to go crazy. I lost the did I lose anything? I didn't. Oh, I lost the MFSU, so I lost something. Wow. I heard that boom and I thought, oh my god, this episode will be like the fail episode. Okay, so now that I put that dot hitting the wire, we should be good. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Okay. I can exhale now because I was holding my breath there. And should put these 2 coolant cells there. That was a close call, guys. That was definitely a close call. Okay, so now everything's good and nothing's blowing up. Okay, now let's check the EU. Okay, I'm not... Why am I not getting any power now? What blew up? Something blew up here. What am I doing wrong, guys? What am I doing wrong here? They had to change something here. Why is this not working? Everything's hooked up. What the heck? Oh, so I guess it doesn't. Wait, I'm missing a step here. I'm missing a step. Because if I go like this, then... Okay, so it doesn't take the circle. Why is it blowing up? This can't handle high voltage. I gotta put a transformer there. Oh, give me a sec. Give me a sec. Okay, I figured out what it was. I have to make an a transformer that will, because this is extreme voltage. I thought this was high voltage. What's coming out here is extreme voltage. It's like crazy. So we need to turn that extreme voltage to high voltage, and then the MFFC won't explode like it just did before. So to do that, I guess we'll make a new item, and that is the something transformer. And oh god, these freaking names. Let's say this one, high voltage transformer. There you go. So I need an energy crystal, 2 copper cables, an MFU or whatever, and electronic circuit. Okay, so let me start getting these materials. No, it won't magically appear there. Alright, so I need 2 cables here, copper cables, and I need electronic circuit, I think. I already forgot. And I need a machine block. Okay, so that's that. What else do I need? I have to make one. Alright, machine. I didn't need an electric circuit. Oh, yes, I did. Okay. Oh, I need a diamond. Well, of course we have. Let's see. I haven't even. Did I check how many diamonds we have with our setup here? Oh my lord! Look at that. Look at all those diamonds. Some people call this cheating, but I call that epic. And we still haven't finished that. We have to finish that setup. But right now we gotta focus on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is it? 8, I think. To make that come on. So yeah, that explosion. I'm still kind of in shock from that explosion. That was freaking awesome. Okay, energy crystal, and let's see. Did we get a lot of stuff? 2 machine. Oh god, I always forget. And this, yeah, and I need my energy circuit. Okay. It goes like this, right? Very easy to make. The transformer, and then this goes here, and this goes here. And what did I miss? What did I miss? Oh, I need 2 more cables. Yep, look how fast that gets made. Beautiful. Okay, so 2 more cables. And there we go. A high voltage transformer. Okay, now we should be able to do this. I'm hoping, guys. I'm hoping. If this blows up again, man, we'll just call this the wasted episode or something. Alright, so the 3 holes have to face the high voltage side. So that's going to be on top like that. Okay. Now, from here, just to be safe, I'm going to take one of these glass fiber cables, because this can handle high voltage. And I'm going to put the MFSU right here. Okay. That looks about right. Now, here's the test. Okay, so, oh, I lost all my EU from that. Not too smart. I just want to check. How does this? Oh, alright, so we're about we're more than halfway. And the heat is at a cool, at a toasty 99,000. Okay, so, alright, here's the test, guys. This should work. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. If it doesn't work, then obviously I don't know what I'm doing. And nothing's blown up. Okay, so now we're producing, and yes, so look how fast that's going. Let's give it a measure. 538 EU a tick. So that is a lot more than what it said it was going to produce. Awesome. And that is, yeah, 512. So it's super duper fast. Look at that. We're already up to 300,000. So here you go. This is our reactor working here, and these will deplete very fast, but you see how it's just going. It's burning through our cooling cells really fast. Wow. A lot faster than I expected. Now, how can we shut this off? If let's say you want to shut this off, like you produced enough EU, or you see things going a little crazy. So let's do that before my freaking thing blows up. I'm just gonna check the heat. Alright, so we're at 2,000 heat, so we're fine for maybe a minute or two. So remember that hole that we made under our design here? We can hook up Redpower to it like this. I'm not sure you guys can see. So there's our hole. Now we take some Redpower wire and we hold down shift and place it under there, and then we'll just put the redstone wire down there. Okay, and we'll just run the wire along the floor here, just to show you how this works real fast. Okay, and we'll just put it up here. So let's say I have my switch, my lever. Trying to do this as fast as I can, because I do not want to blow up my whole lovely project. Okay, so right now this is doing its job. It's producing EU at a very good place. We already got 1 million EU, and it's counting. So let's say I flick the switch. Now I got that red signal on, and we take a look here, and nothing is. Here we go. See, nothing is degrading. And if we look at our EU now, you can see it stopped. So if you ever need to stop your reactor, like I'll do this with the breeder too. Let's say I don't want to breed anything. I'll just put a switch under there. So you can see you can shut off your reactor anytime you want. And if we look at the heat, it's actually going down. So it's actually cooling. So this is a good way to cool your reactor. Once you get to that magic number of 10,000, 11,000 heat, you can see it's starting to go down. And if I put my water on, it'll even cool down a lot faster. So that's how you do that. But I'm gonna let it run and try to get a bunch of EU. Yeah, I'll get a lot of EU running. This only says this isn't gonna last long, so you just don't want to leave this because you'll blow up everything. And yeah, so that's your breeder in work. We're almost depleted isotopes. I would like to get this made, so maybe that's what I'll do. I'll wait. The final part of this episode, I'll wait until one of these are fully recharged, and then I'll show you how to change that to a uranium cell. Okay, no, I do not want to use the electric wrench on anything. Okay, let's check the temperature. It's up to 3,000 already, so this goes pretty darn fast. And we're already up to 2 million energy. So the projected numbers are definitely a lot higher than what it said it was going to be. But I can expect that because, it's been a lot of updates, a lot of stuff, so you have to expect that. Okay, so that wire's here. Let's see, I don't need my glass anymore, and my levers. So how are we gonna change? Maybe I could show you if it'll show you here. All right, so we got a depleted isotope cell. No, I think I gotta put it in a compressor. Kind of forgot. Oops, that was my. Alright, so you know what? I'll just wait until this fully charges, and then I'll show you how to make that into a uranium cell. But, just check it out. Our breeder and our reactor are working like a charm. Let's check the heat. Already up to 4,000. and we're almost 3 million EU. And if we look at our cells, they're about halfway, almost done, and not even a little chunk. So this uranium is going to last a long time while it produces EU. Of course, the cooldown times are ridiculous, but of course you can replace those coolant cells with a new batch, and you can keep the energy going, or you can just wait it out. It's up to you. Okay, so once these depleted isotope cells get filled up, we will move on to how to change them to uranium cells. Alrighty, so we have done it. We have achieved what we sought out to do, and that was to make this re-enriched uranium cell. So this just happened automatically when the bar filled up to full. So we can take 4 of these out and take 4 of our depleted that we had made and put those here. But of course, what did I just do? Take this depleted. So of course, this uranium cell here will not be able to fill up this again, but we'll just use the one that we made. So now that we have 4 enriched uranium cells, we're gonna need 4 coal dust. So let me just make that. Okay, so we'll let that charge. It looks like it's already clicking away, so that's okay. Oh, and our reactor here, I had to stop it because first these were getting rather low. These generate over time, by the way. That's why it takes an hour for it to cool down. But it probably won't cool down if I have these uranium cells in there. But I just left it there for now. And we made almost 7 million EU in that time. So I'm going to need a couple MFSU. So I put this wire here. I'll probably do that later, but not now. So this is working great. I have no idea what we use this EU for, but you know, we'll figure it out. So now let's make these uranium cells, and it's very easy. Like I said, we just need some coal dust, and the coal dust is in our logistics network. We need how many? 3? I think that was the verdict. So yeah, so that's how you make a nuclear reactor. That's how you make a breeder. Of course, that's not the only nuclear reactor design. I went to the extreme and made something that'll pump out tons of EU. There's something, you know, more where it'll last more than 10 minutes. So it always makes 1 extra. That's weird. So yeah, so you know, just to give you an idea of what you can do with the reactor. Reactor, you know, a lot of people get confused. Of course, it's very easy to do. So we take our coal dust and we take our enriched uranium cell, and there we go. We have 4 uranium cells for 1 piece of uranium. So once again, very, very easy to make. And actually, if to come to think of it, when the uranium cell runs out, when this cell runs out, it might turn into a isotope. I wonder. No, it would turn into a near depleted uranium cell, I believe. So we can actually recycle that. So now we have 4 more cells to add to our collection. So there we go. And that's pretty much what a breeder does. It makes 8 cells with 1 ore. And that's the whole point. You want to maximize as much as you can, and before you know, we'll have a whole thing full of uranium cells. And this, the good thing about this is that we can just leave this running pretty much forever. We look at the heat, and it's still, oh, it actually went down, because I'm guessing that's because we removed the cells. Yeah, that is probably why. We removed that uranium cell and it had a chance to cool down. So, you know, I can let that heat back up if I wanted to. And it might go up, or it just might stay at its current temperature. Not sure. But either way, that'll work. I might want to raise it up. You know, we can put it back to the heating configuration just to get that temperature back to 9,000. But I'll just leave it like that. Yeah, there you go, starting to go up. So when that hits 9,000, I'll just put the water on. I don't even know if I have to put the water on. It might just stay there, but I'll just be safe and have it the water on at 9,000. So yeah, so that's the I guess I'll end it here. I hope this was informative. It was good that we made those mistakes with the MFSU and us needing a high voltage transformer to convert that extreme voltage into high voltage. So that was a good mistake to make. And remember, we can turn on and turn off your reactor anytime by applying a redstone signal to there. And of course, we can even extend that with timers, but I don't trust timers. And our breeder is working like a charm, and as you can see, already pulsed the tick in there. And of course, everything here is not wasting, so it's still doing its job, and that is regulating the temperature of our breeder. And yeah, that's it. So next episode, I don't know what we'll do. Just throw me some suggestions. I know I should probably protect that reactor, but I'm not going to protect it. I'll just leave it there. And yeah, just let me know. We'll finish this tree up next episode for sure, and we'll do some other cool stuff. I don't know. Remember, just leave me a comment. Let people know about my channel and all that good stuff. So I'll catch you guys and take care. Peace out.